Good afternoon. I'm Marilee Rosine Beasley. I am standing here next to the Jersey Village election poll in its early voting, and I would like to talk to the voters and give them some tips about voting. I recommend that you do your own research. I recommend that you go and vote in person. There's going to be a lot of ballot fraud this election. I have seen a video where a postal worker took a lot of ballots and threw them into the trash. Now, what I'm looking for is the most qualified candidate. I am not going to vote a straight Republican ballot this time. In fact, it came to my attention during the primary that Joe Dana, who lives in Jersey Village, was running for Harris County Sheriff, and I was actively supporting another candidate. I found out that Joe Dana was fired for lying when he was a constable. I don't understand why he ran. I don't understand why the Republicans allowed him to be on the ballot. My understanding is he's on the Brady list, which means that he cannot testify in Harris County courts. My understanding is he never went to a campaign vetting committee meeting like he was supposed to do, like I did when I ran. So anyway, I would like to encourage everybody to do their own research about Joe Dana. You can Google Fox News and Joe Dana. I, right now, am doing my best to get his personnel file because I want to get the facts. And it's been several days since I requested that personnel file. And I'm beginning to wonder if somebody's stalling. Anyway, these are just some tips, because I really do think that mail-in ballot fraud and other forms of fraud are going to be big. Now, I want to read you something that someone texted me. Alan Vera is the ballot security person for Harris County, the Republican Party. And he wrote some information recently, and this has come to my attention, so I'm going to read it to you. It's talking about chain of custody. Thousands of ballots left unsecured by the Harris County clerk. Approximately 90,000 election documents were picked up at polling locations by people claiming to work for the county clerk's office and never tracked. Over the first week of voting in Harris County, the Harris County clerk failed to implement chain of custody safeguards to ensure ballot security. Since the first day of early voting, the county clerk dispatched random people who claimed to work for the county to retrieve several classes of election documents in unsealed boxes, stated Harris County Republican Party Vice Chair Kevin Fulton. According to several poll watchers and election judges, the temporary workers received no training. They were dispatched to the early voting poll system-wide to collect surrendered mail ballots, mail ballot cancellations, provisional affidavits, statement of residency forms, and other critical documents. Presiding judges were handing over the requested documents in unsealed boxes. No counts were done of the documents collected, and no transfer documents were signed tracking who picked up the boxes. These temporary workers traveled across the county in private vehicles without any form of identification and began picking up critical election documents in a manner that totally disregarded chain of custody. And now every candidate on the ballot and anyone who cast a vote should be concerned, concluded Vice Chair Fulton. It appears the county clerk is now taking steps to improve the chain of custody, but the untracked election documents represent about 700,000 votes cast during the first full week of early voting. We think the voters of Harris County deserve better. All right? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think this is horrible. Horrible. And frankly, I think we should redo this election, because now who do we trust? How do we verify who voted? How do we know? And I'm going to share something else with you. I am a public health nurse, and I have been one for almost 2 decades. I worked for the Harris County Health Department. I was a nursing instructor with Harris Health, which is Bentov LBJ, which is like Parkland in Dallas. I know from experience that the numbers have been inflated. I also understand that the numbers for the annual flu for adults are estimates, and they use computer modeling. I do not trust Dr. Fauci. I've known his name for many years. I'm very concerned about anybody who is in government. It happens that in Harris County, we have a county judge whose name is Lena Hidalgo. She is not a judge, it's a title. She's too young, in my opinion, too young for the job, did not have relevant experience. In my opinion, she does not know what she's doing. And now it seems that she's all about the power. So, when I'm forced to wear a mask, which I think is ridiculous, I wear the one with the plastic face shield like you see in surgery. I also have an N95 mask. I believe that we have immune systems, and I don't understand why governors shut down the great outdoors. That is where everybody needs to be. People need the vitamin D that you get from the sun. They need to be outside. They should not cower in fear and hide out in their homes and become couch potatoes. I eat healthy. I exercise. I have a purpose in life. The elderly and those with health problems are the ones who might die from the annual flu, from pneumonia, and from the coronavirus. Please do your own research about masks. When I see a leader wearing a mask that's flimsy, I know they didn't do their own research. There are effective medications to treat the coronavirus, the annual flu, and pneumonia. I recommend that everybody just live a healthy life. So don't cower in fear. Do your own research. Please do not let anybody think for you, especially somebody who's from the government. Thank you, and have a blessed day.